Hello and welcome to SatoshiConomy, honest global crypto news and info. It's where I report after having curated hundreds of sources to distill a news and information product for you. Today I'm going to do a brief history or comparison between what's known as the legacy financial system or central banking, which is existent today globally, and a crypto economy. Also, at the end of this video, I'll refer you to 5 individuals that I want to refer you to as far as excellent additional sources for you to research. So stay tuned for that. The brief history is that the legacy financial system it centers around the Federal Reserve Bank in America. It was an organization that was created in 1913. Their goal or their job is to regulate the inflation the inflation rate between 2 to 3%. That's what their goal is, and then also it uh, manages the money supply or manipulates the money supply. Now, this 2 to 3% tax has caused the $1 value in 1913 to equate to less than 2 cents or even a penny now. Now, one could also argue that the wages for the wage earner have gone up a lot, and that's true. Yet at the same time, so is the taxation. The IRS was created about the same time, and what the in, the purchasing power of the wage earner is greatly diminished. And what we've seen socially, especially since 2000 and through that decade, and certainly after 2010, many uh, families have had to have additional incomes to make ends meet, um, dual incomes, both spouses working. Um, but the uh, the uh, the Federal Reserve, what their job is, what they do is it's a debt based economy. Your corner bank, for example, when they have $1,000 in their ledger, or when they have 1,000 actual dollars in their account, they can lend out 10 times that. That's where we get the fractional reserve lending terminology, and so it creates debt. And through this system, yes, there's been a lot of large companies that have been created, a lot of profitable entities and hedge funds, and then therefore jobs and a lot of good profitable things created that way. But it truly benefits very few compared to how much it benefits the most. Conversely, uh, crypto represents an asset-based economy. It completely turns the notion of a debt-based economy on its head. There's no debt. The first crypto is what's known as Bitcoin. It was invented by a group of people or a person, which goes by the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. And what Satoshi Nakamoto did is he invented what's known as blockchain technology. It's a computer science breakthrough, which is an internet protocol upon which Bitcoin resides, giving it its life on the internet. You could compare it to the internet with email being the first application. But now, since 2009, there's been many hundreds and thousands, well, thousands of uh, cryptos and blockchain technologies that exist, and there will be tens of thousands soon, and likely hundreds of thousands of different use cases that are available on the internet. Some of the more notable use cases are a coin as a store of value, a coin or a blockchain technology that can securitize elections. That's actually already taken place in some countries. It eliminates fraud. There's applications that securitize trademarks or make it possible for entities to prove fraud or mock copies. There's in the automotive industry, they've developed a way to track cars and auto parts through a chain referencing system. There's a great application in the healthcare industry, which helps to securitize private information and also the use or the sales of drugs. There's others of note, but you kind of get the gist. Today, I just want to comment on kind of the state of affairs of where we're at. Ever since cryptos came on board, the legacy system and all the successes they've had, and the magnates who have had great successes, and they don't want this new technology or this juggernaut because they've been entrenched in a system that works for them, and understandably they are averse to something that's new, that disintermediates them. And so they, in the beginnings of Bitcoin, there's history of arrests right from the beginning of meetups. There's been a lot of propaganda known as what's known as FUD. It's an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. J.P. Morgan, of note, CEO of the largest bank in America, is called Bitcoin equivalent to rat turds, or really a hoax. There's been other notable figures which really try to set it up as a scam, claiming that it's a source for money laundering and drug trafficking, when actually the dollar itself has a much better use case for that, and has been a use case for all of that. Today, as we speak, recently in the legacy economies, some things of note is that there's been in what's known as the global equities market, during the month of September, there was a $6.7 trillion sell-off or loss. It's a 15% loss in 30 days' time in the global equities markets. There has been a 3-year high in central banks, their purchasing of gold. At the same time, a year ago today, there was about 9,000 businesses which accepted Bitcoin. Today, there are over 200,000. That's an increase factor of 22x. The SEC, or Securities Exchange Commission, has for over a year now been discussing and looking at specifically exchange traded funds in the crypto industry. Or another way to say that is that there have been specific crypto based funds, exchange traded funds. The Winklevoss twins are known as proprietors of. They're trying to get some of their an exchange traded funds having to do with the crypto industry legalized or created and approved by the SEC. So what this foretells is that the legacy system has realized that they better get into this new technology or be left behind. The blockchain technology is here to stay. I mean, it's digital money. These systems are available and working right now. As a matter of fact, all Fortune 100 companies and probably all Fortune 500 companies have on staff or consult with professionals with blockchain expertise, which have been already implementing processes in their companies which disintermediate a lot of the decades old systems that they've used, which in turn it lowers their bottom line, increases their productivity and efficiency. And these technologies, some estimates are that there's over 100,000 individuals who are employed in the blockchain industry and crypto industry, say whether it be with coding or creating new coins or tokens, or creating new use cases, or just all sorts of niches that are existent in the blockchain and crypto industry. So that's kind of it is a wrap. If you've gained, I was going to say that it's estimated that there's about 2,000 or 2 billion people on Earth who are unbanked, and about 4 billion who are either unbanked or marginally, they don't have ease of access to banks. And children born today are not even going to use paper money. What you can have even today with a $50 phone and an email account, children will have in their pocket a bank. They're not going to have a bank account. In their pocket, they will be an international banker. And what the invention of the digital economy and the blockchain technologies and cryptos means is that there will be a disintermediation of a lot of processes, which will lower the prices and increase the efficiencies of a lot of products and services. There will be greater price discovery, meaning likely there will be lower, there'll just be greater competition. There'll be create an opportunity for wealth creation for the common man that has been unseen in the history of man. So that's why I'm a proponent of it. That's why I'm making this video, just explaining some of the differences. And I'd like to just give you 5 individuals to check out. See if I can remember them. One is Max Kaiser. He produces the Kaiser Report. He's an excellent economist, very well studied, and he just has a crazy sense of humor. He's very interesting. He puts out his report almost every day. There's also a gentleman named Omar Bam, puts out Crypto's News. At first I wasn't really liking him, but he's really proved to be a very steady, consistent, and really a servant of mankind in reporting on news. And he's well traveled around the world. And next I'll reference Jeff Berwick with the Dollar Vigilante. He also is very, very well traveled. He's more of a contrarian philosopher or proponent, and he's very, very well traveled. I appreciate his ability to go out to all these conferences that are going on and keep up to date with things. Also, Michael Gu, who does box mining, he has a lot to do with what goes on in the Asian markets, South Korea, Japan, China, that area. He can speak language over there, and he's also very technically related. He has done coding. He's been in the gaming industry. Very, very intelligent. He also is very, very well traveled and consistent. I know there's one more. Oh, James Corbett does the Corbett Report, and he just stands, a head taller than practically everyone else as far as a documentarian. Just excellent. I mean, he's done so much research behind what he reports on. He's done some documentaries that range from between 45 minutes to an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I know it just takes months and months and months of some of the research he's done that goes into the creation of some of his videos. So I hope you check those people out of interest, and thank you for tuning in here to SatoshiConomy, honest global crypto news and info. If you like what you've heard, smash that like button, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.